Hello everybody and welcome to the Narc Network. I'm Dean, the host of the Narc Network and channel, and also the host of the Unmasking the Narcissist channel. Today I'm going to present for you excuse me, episode 276, and the title of episode 276 is The Narcissists Change with High-Level Consequences. Now, this particular video was kind of provoked for me to do because I had seen some other narcissistic expert on the internet recently, and for the life of me I can't remember who it was, but it's one of the many that we see that come up on Facebook with some degree of regularity. And this particular narcissistic expert was talking about how narcissists actually change from their behavior when they're presented with high-level consequences to their behavior. Now, I watched all of this expert's videos, and in this particular video, when he was talking about this, he was talking about the factor that when narcissists get beset with something that's a high-level consequence, that they change their narcissistic behavior. But I don't agree with this at all. And it's certainly not my experience. It's not my experience with narcissists I've had entanglements with, either of a romantic nature or of another nature. And it's really not the experience of most of the narcissistic victims I've seen on the Narc Network. I've got a lot of people on the Narc Network who have had situations arise with a person in their life that has been a narcissist, and that narcissist hasn't changed their behavior, even though they've possibly had to been beset with like some severe ramifications to their narcissistic behavior. They may have been told that the person that was with them is going to get a divorce from them, or the person has sought divorce after they've realized they've been dealing with a narcissist. They've been taken to court for whatever reason. Serious things like this, which could put a narcissist in some level of jeopardy in their life for the balance or for the continuity of how their life is going. And even these high-level things that have been thrust upon the narcissist haven't really effectively changed that narcissist from their behavior. And I talked to a great number of people off the off the Narc Network, and some of these people I've talked to over time, it's been a couple of these people have been talking to for years with regularity about the narcissists in their lives and them dealing with the narcissist afterwards. And these narcissistic individuals, these narcissistic individuals have had something serious thrust upon them by their victims, and it clearly hasn't changed the behavior of that narcissist in their life. That narcissist has still continued to do those things just the same with that person, even though they're kind of been put in a threatening position by the victims that they've abused. So I'm not really sure why this narcissistic expert said that high-level consequences change the behavior in narcissists, because it's not my experience to see this most of the time. It's not my experience with the narcissists that I know and have dealt with, that's for sure. And that being said, I don't quite exactly understand why that narcissistic expert would say that. I can tell you that this expert that I watched is a person who is quite learned, and I believe they have a PhD in psychology and a number of other great experiences in their life that lend to them being a psychologist or a psychotherapist that deals with narcissists. But I have to say that I have not had an experience of this nature. I have not had this experience with people off the Narc Network. Not to say that it hasn't happened at all. There may have been one or two instances where the narcissist has got shocked into reforming their behavior. and becoming better. And I've even had an incidence of this in my personal life as well too. But I've also had multiple instances in my personal life where whatever has happened between myself and a narcissist, they may have had some severe consequences afterwards, and that doesn't appear to have shocked my narcissists into changing their behavior. But I won't go into that in this video. This will be the topic for another video that we'll talk about related to this. But again, it's not my experience either with a narcissist that I've dealt with, and not my experience with other people that I've dealt with who've had to deal with their narcissists most of the time. I think this happens a very, very small percentage of the time, a very small percentage of the time. I'm going to say like 1% of the time this might actually happen. And I don't think it happens much more than that. And if you look at some of the narcissistic experts on the internet who themselves actually are narcissists, a lot of those individuals I don't think necessarily would have changed their narcissistic behavior either, or attempted to change it, if they hadn't had some other reasons to do this besides ultimately being being outed as a narcissist in this particular way. Because in my experience, outing the narcissist and doing some severe or serious things to them that give them some consequences doesn't seem to change them most of the time. And I found it perplexing that this particular psychologist or psychotherapist who deals with narcissistic individuals was saying this, because he seemed to be indicating that this changes narcissists almost always when they deal with severe consequences. But this is not my experience with the narcissists that I know. It's not my experience with most of the narcissists I've dealt with that have messed with me. It's not my experience with people off the narc network who are victims. A lot of them just have had their narcissists just, be able to camouflage their behavior, or try to camouflage their behavior even worse, so they're not looked upon as being narcissists. And some of them won't even come forward and admit that they're narcissists, even though their victims know that they are, and they have identified them and outed them in these particular ways. So it's just perplexing that this particular psychologist would have said that any high-level event that happens to a narcissist that poses serious consequences for them will change them. I don't think that this is the case at all, but that's just me, and that's my perspective, and that's my experience as well too, though. And I've dealt with a great many people off of the Narcan network, as well as having my own experiences with this as well too. So this is just what I wanted to talk to you guys about here in episode 276. Gonna say please stay tuned. I got lots of lots of content coming up on the Narcan network, and some stuff coming up on the Unmasking the Narcissist channel. For now, I hope you guys have a great day, and please stay tuned for some future videos that I got coming out.